My name's Hesha Chima. I am hoping that you guys know me by now because we've been conducting frequent lives for y'all. And again, I'm back with yet another informative, fun session for all you people out there. And today's topic, especially, and of course, the person who we have today is something really, really cool and something that I relate to completely. It's makeup, guys. And I have a celebrity makeup artist, makeup expert, someone who's been doing makeup for Miss India and Miss Diva as well, and that's none other than Clint Fernandez. So Clint should be joining us super soon. So yeah, in the meanwhile, let me know how are you guys keeping. Keep all your makeup related questions for Clint ready. Also avoid my slight nose because I have a little bit of cold. So yeah. But yeah, how's everyone else doing? How's everybody's health? Also, let me know if you guys have been enjoying the sessions that we've been doing. And Clint is here online. Just Clint a request. And I think he should be joining us in absolutely no time. Clint is here. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, very good.
Yeah. How's isolation treating you so far?
Well, it's not really a problem. I mean, I deal with it as it comes. Uh, Creating a kind of a routine to the day helps because then you're not really bogged down by like negative thoughts or anything like that. So it's
That's
just good
true.
to be, kind of like, diligent and kind of disciplined during this time. Otherwise, your mind just goes haywire.
Yeah, that's true. Anything in particular that you've been doing? Maybe meditating or coming up with some new makeup hacks?
Well, not really new makeup hacks in the sense that I've been kind of researching and kind of compiling various things about beauty products one can make at home. Because I feel
Oh,
that is the need of the hour because we're not going to get beauty products so easily in the market. A lot of
yeah.
it gets imported. And I mean, women want to know something which is kind of eco-friendly, also economical to the pocket, where you can also get the products easily in your like Kirana
Yeah.
stores or, wherever, and which you can find in the kitchen and which is also effective for the skin, which without causing too much of harm. So I've been kind of
Yeah.
compiling a lot of those kind of things together. Asking
That's
people what their
amazing.
things are, what I've been researching and finding out, like to make moisturizers at home, to make detanning lotions at
Wow.
home, all of those
Oh, can you
things.
send? Can you like share? How do I make a moisturizer at home? I think everybody needs to use a moisturizer, and I think that's pretty cool. Also, we'd love to know, Clint. Please share.
Well, one of the most simplest, what you say, moisturizers one can make is using organic coconut oil
Okay.
and almond oil. And if you've got like a nut allergy or whatever, you can use Avion 500, Avion 400, which is like a vitamin E oil mixed with the coconut oil. And you just apply a little bit of it on your face and your, like the backs of your hands. And that's it. And then you're set to go. And in fact, like, I mean, a lot of women, especially a lot of grandmothers, will swear by this because it's really
Yeah.
effective.
All your
Yeah.
gharelu nuskas right now, I think, are coming to use.
Absolutely, and like you're not going to get things in the market very easily for some time. Like we've got to be
Yeah,
prepared for this. I mean, the
that's
government
true.
says the lockdown isn't until a certain time, but you never know what the situation might go on to. Like
That's
another
true.
thing to
Clint,
use is
somebody.
also aloe vera gel.
Oh, yes. Aloe vera gel. And
So
I think, Clint, you're so
aloe
right.
vera,
These are things which are easily available. So, yeah. What do we do with
absolutely,
aloe
you
vera
can
gel?
find them in your window. You can find them in the market. You can
Yeah.
find them like anywhere. Like aloe vera gel again mixed with a little bit of lemon also works because it kind of prevents your skin from getting acne. And if your skin
Mm-hmm.
is too oily, you can mix the aloe vera gel with a little bit of lemon and a little bit of rose water, I would say, and a little bit of again a little bit of almond oil. Works really well for the
Okay.
skin.
Oh,
Because
that's
I mean, some
amazing.
women have like this tendency of getting acne very easily, and I mean, some girls, even boys, would say that, "Oh my God, I've got too much of pimples and things like that."
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've got oily skin. So then this works.
Yeah, I think that's a better way because I think Akshita also exactly asked when you shared the almond oil and coconut oil DIY moisturizer. She's asking, will this also help for acne prone skin?
Yeah, so then this helps. I mean, and also for acne prone skin, you can do a mask of Multani Matti,
Hmm.
which really works. I mean, this is something I used to personally follow because I had a very bad case of acne earlier on. So I threw a mixture of Multani Matti, rose water, and little bit
Okay.
of lemon juice. And if your
Okay.
skin is super sensitive, then avoid the lemon juice because it can sting a little bit.
Hmm.
And you
That's
can mix a
true.
little bit of papaya because papaya
Oh yeah.
also kind of works well, and it also kind of detans the skin, so you kind of get a little bit of a fairer complexion after
That's
that.
pretty cool. Yeah. Clint, somebody's asking
Yeah.
us, if a particular girl who is wanting to apply for Miss India, and she has slight issues with pores, right? Open pores. What kind of makeup would sort of help camouflage that?
Well, I would say first, before you really start the makeup process, when you've got open pores, I would say part of your daily regime should be to use an ice pack, where you
Okay.
use crushed ice on the face, basically, like at least twice a day, because that kind of helps to tighten the pores.
Hmm.
And to kind of moisturize maybe before that. So you
Okay.
moisturize the skin and apply the ice pack, and everything kind of really tightens down and kind of settles. So do this once in the morning, once in the night. And then when you're applying your makeup, I would say to use a primer, definitely. To use
Hmm.
again a moisturizer, an oil-free gel moisturizer really works. And then to use a primer post that, because a primer kind of smoothens it all out. And after
Hmm.
that, to use your foundation and concealer, and then your powder and all of that.
Okay. So let's say, Clint, that the people who are viewing this live today, most of them are, of course, I'm sure, budding Miss Indias, right? And they would want to apply for the
Yeah.
pageant. And let's say, they want to come for an audition. And when you do come for audition, you, of course, have some makeup on. What do you feel is the ideal kind of makeup that one should apply when coming for auditions? Whether it's a Miss Diva or a
Well, I
Miss
think
India.
it's important. Uh, the most important thing, I think, Asia, is to be neat and presentable. I mean, that is very, very, very important. So the girl should look, I mean, it doesn't necessarily that you've got to use like lots of makeup on your face and all of that. But the very fact that if somebody has got their hair nicely done, like you straighten your hair, you put it into a nice ponytail, or you go and get a nice blow dry done at a salon, that's important. Your clothes are clean and crisp. That's very important. And then
Okay.
the makeup should be kind of covering the blemishes, like if you've got like spots, all of those. So it's very basic in that sense. It should also be matte, because using too much of highlighter and all of that will accentuate, like open pores, for example,
Yeah.
uneven skin tones. It will
Yeah.
highlight all of that. So highlighters, I
Yeah.
feel, should be avoided for something like this. Keep it kind of matte. Keep the eye makeup relatively natural. Because
Okay.
to be honest, that is what the screening panel wants to also see, that how the girl looks naturally. I mean, I would
True.
say, for example, like if you've got eye makeup on, that should be the eye makeup. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. I
it's
do
that
have
kind
some.
of, yeah. So it should be very light, natural, so you
Okay.
can actually see the features of the girl. Use mascara because that kind of opens up the eyes.
True.
Avoid too much of kajal, because then that goes a little bit into another zone. I mean, too much of
Yeah.
kajal. Also keep the lip color kind of natural, kind of again like what you are wearing right now. I mean, that's like the most perfect lip color. And this
Okay.
is the kind of lip color that even I advise the Miss Indias to use when they are at the international pageants, because they have to
Okay.
be kind of finished through the day. I mean, it's important.
True. Yeah. Something which is more subtle and light is what you're saying, I feel. Also,
Absolutely, absolutely.
Clint, somebody is asking us, I'm just scrolling up to get the name. Okay. Yeah. So I think Beatific Vertika is asking, what is the best way to sort of lighten your knees and elbow with makeup? Like, how do you lighten your knees and elbows? Because body makeup also
See,
is
to be
important, right?
honest, I mean, this is something which is a problem that we face even during shoots, during shows, when you've got a lot of discoloration, like especially like, like the elbows are very dark or the knees are very dark.
Yeah.
It's a very big problem to cover up.
Okay.
You have got to use a lot of concealer, you've got to use a lot of powder, you've got to use a lot of foundation to kind of also match the skin tone. Otherwise, it tends to look gray.
Yeah.
Because, so that is something that one needs to really, really be careful. And the only way you can avoid that, and also another thing is when you have too much of makeup on your knees and your elbows, it's going to stain your clothes.
True.
You know, you're going to get stains, like makeup stains. Like you put your arm down like that, it's going to
Yeah.
cause a makeup stain. So the way to avoid it is again to moisturize your knees and your
Okay.
elbows post your shower and before going to sleep, twice a day.
Hmm.
And the best thing to do is cocoa butter or shea butter.
Okay.
And
Okay.
again, like one can use organic coconut oil also. You know,
Yeah.
that's another thing that one can use. And to use a little bit of a scrub twice a week.
Okay.
Like if you already got pigmentation, you can use a little bit of scrub because this is something that exfoliates also quite quickly. So use a little bit
Hmm.
of scrub, scrub it for like a couple of minutes, and then wash it off, and then apply your moisturizer and everything after you shower. So that works really well.
Okay.
And it will take
Okay.
like a month or so, but it will definitely start lightening in color.
Yeah, and I think if you take the necessary steps to sort of even take care of your skin, then makeup will just amplify it, I feel, and would look
Absolutely,
better.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Clint, Ashima is asking, hi, Clint, can you please help us with any dark circle hacks? Like somebody who has a lot of dark circles. Hmm.
See, one of the things a lot of people tend to use is color correctors.
Hmm.
I personally avoid color correctors when I'm working because, you know, using too much of that orange under the eyes, and if you're not really professional about it, your face can
Hmm.
look like you're going for Ram Leela, not for like normal makeup. You know, it becomes too orange. You know, so you have to be a little bit careful. One thing, again, see, like, I mean, to every kind of makeup solution, there is a little bit of preventive measures. One is
Okay.
having a lot of sleep, checking that your iron is proper in the body, because
Hmm.
lack of iron is what causes dark circles to happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
your hemoglobin levels. So, checking on that, drinking a lot of water, keeping yourself hydrated. These are the few things that can help. Another thing that one should do is number one is to use an under eye cream
Okay.
as part of your beauty regime. Number two would be to use a concealer and like just pat the concealer down under your
Okay.
eyes.
Like this area? Oh, okay. Right
Yeah,
here.
like that area, just pat it down
Okay.
and then blend it outwards, either with your the tip of your finger or with like a makeup brush, and then
Mm-hmm.
follow with foundation. And there are some
Okay.
concealers which are really, really strong, which are quite good. So one should use that. And
Hmm.
yeah, that's it. And then you use your translucent powder on the top, and you should be fine. But
Yeah.
also remember to, I mean, sorry, remember to use a under eye cream, because if you don't use an under eye cream and moisturizer, the area will start cracking up.
Correct. Hmm.
Yeah, you were
That's
saying,
exactly what
sorry, I cut
somebody
you.
else. So, no, that's what somebody else was asking also. That what if it starts cracking and creasing? Like, Clint, what do we do? So I think you just took it with this only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that is very important that you use an under eye cream. You know, I mean, an eye cream is very important. And you get
Hmm.
several brands of eye creams, like right from 100 rupees to 5,000 rupees. I mean, you know, so whatever is
Correct.
your budget, it's available in the market. It's not really unavailable as such.
That's true. So, Clint, we'll take another question from Isha. She's asking, what should I buy if I have just started to learn how to do my makeup? Good question. Because all the Miss India girls who even apply sort of for the pageant are pretty young. Like they're all starting off and they're not so trained and groomed until they get into the training and grooming period. So, if somebody's really new to makeup at all, what would you ideally advise them to have in their makeup kit?
Number one, I would say a compact. It's very essential to keep your skin matte and everything.
Hmm.
Uh, a moisturizer, very important, so that your skin kind of looks fresh and moist. Moisturizer, a primer. Now, a primer
Hmm.
can be like a proper primer, or it can be a BBCC cream.
Okay.
That also kind of does the thing, job. And to be honest, you know, a lot of girls who are coming in for Miss India, for any of the pageants or Miss Diva and all that, already have good skin, you
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
Most of them really do have good skin. So
True.
I would say don't over invest also. Like, I mean, if you have like a good moisturizer, a good primer or a CC cream and a compact, you don't really need a foundation.
Correct.
You know, I mean, it's not really so necessary. And if you are
Hmm.
getting a foundation, don't overspend on the foundation. You get some of foundations which are available for like 600-700 rupees. Get that. That should be enough. You know,
Okay.
just to give you a little bit of a finished look. Then I would say like a mascara is very important. You know,
Hmm.
so you have, you know, the fuller eyes, uh, a kohl pencil, eyeshadow. Again, don't overspend on eyeshadow. You get some palettes which are like, again, for 700-800 rupees, and then
Yes.
you can buy them even online from some brands and things like that, which is like
True.
with lots of discounts. So you can get things really cheap. You don't have to overspend.
Hmm.
Blush and lip color. And if you can get a
Yeah.
lip color that works as a gloss as well as a lip color, I mean, that's great. Like, I don't know what
Yeah.
you've used, but it's good. So it's not, too dry. It's not too moist.
Yeah.
It's not,
I've
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've actually used something which is a little bit, just a tinge of gloss. So then it kind of looks like it's very
Yeah,
natural and subtle. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
But
Clint,
then,
people are,
sorry, Hisha, there's one thing that girls should remember, because a lot of girls have got pigmented lips.
yeah.
And that doesn't happen. I mean, it's not because of smoking, it's not because of anything else. It's because we've got brown skin tones.
Mm-hmm.
Even I've got, like, I mean, I look like a heavy smoker, but I'm not. And I've had this since childhood, that I've got, like, a lot of pigmentation on my lips. And
Hmm.
because of this pigmentation, the lips can look a little bit different. Like, your upper lip can look darker and your lower lip can look lighter, or vice versa.
Correct.
So for
Hmm.
those kind of things, I would suggest the girl to get a natural long stay lip color that goes from liquid
Okay.
to matte.
Okay.
And then on the top of that, you can put anything and it will look like the best thing ever. This is like
That's
a
a
like
very
a
good hack.
professional secret.
Yeah. And that's a very
This is
useful and a
because a
damn
lot of
good
people don't
one.
realize this. Like, I mean, this is something that I kind of figured out while doing shows, while working with a lot of girls who've got this kind of issue. And you need really nice, natural looking lips, but they've got very major pigmentation. So how do you
True.
kind of solve this? So you just do this natural lip color, and the lip color should be kind of matching your skin tone. It
Okay.
should not be lighter. So it kind
Hmm.
of, like, when you apply the lip color, it kind of looks one with your skin tone. And then you just put a light pink gloss and it works like magic.
Great. So Clint, before doing this live, I was stalking you on your Instagram and I've been seeing how you've been doing these super cool stuff on your page, all these DIYs and hacks,
Yes,
and I feel for everybody, especially during this quarantine phase, when you're indoors and you really can't shop much, even online or step out, those come super handy, right? So Clint, tell me like one,
absolutely.
two of your super cool hacks and DIYs which you've shared.
Like, one of the things I spoke to you about was the moisturizer
Correct.
thing, which really
Yeah.
works well. Another thing is to use a mixture of papaya and coconut water. Now, this you
Hmm.
can work on your body. It works really well to do a detan.
Okay.
And then there's another hack, in fact, which one of my followers and somebody who I know, Pooja, who messaged me about, where she does this mixture of a potato paste.
Okay. So
And
that also
I
helps in
don't know
like,
the exact thing. I mean, it is there on my DIY hack thing. So it's a mixture of potato paste and one more thing. I'm not sure what exactly. And you apply it to the face. And I've had people messaging me that, oh, I did that and my skin was glowing and it looked fabulous
wow.
and everything. So, I mean, this is something that even I didn't know, that potato paste can actually work. Like, I mean, of raw potato, you kind of make a paste and you apply this with that other particular thing. I don't know what it is exactly. I can't remember.
No worries.
So
We're
that
going to
works
redirect
really well.
everybody to your page after this live so as they can go and check out your highlights and then figure out what's that secret ingredient other than the potato paste for
Absolutely.
this. We'll totally do that. Clint, Alicia says that, she wants to know a hack from you as to how she can make her lips look fuller without surgeries or injections. Nice one.
But that is a very, I mean, to be honest, it's a lot of girls face this issue. So, like, when you've got thin lips, and let's be honest, I mean, surgeries and fillers are not the thing for everybody.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, even if your parents would allow it, there are some girls who themselves would not want to do it and
correct.
get into something so invasive. So I would
Yeah.
say, number one is to line the lips. First, use a lip liner
Mm-hmm.
and line the lips very slightly on the outside, you know, and use a kind of a nude lip liner, a
Okay.
natural lip liner, and line it on the outside. Then fill it with a matte color
Okay.
right up to the lip line and cover the lip line properly.
Hmm.
And then to use a lip gloss, but only on the center of the lips, like literally
Yeah.
just here, like a
Hmm.
heart shape, just
Hmm.
here. So you cover the bow of the lip and you bring it down into a point. And with your natural body heat, the lip gloss will automatically spread. But the lip gloss color should be lighter a little bit than the lip color being used.
Okay. So that's like
Like
the
maybe
secret
2 points
thing.
lighter. So this kind
Okay.
of creates a 3D effect, which makes the lips look fuller.
That's a nice one. I'm
Like,
gonna try
and this
this
is
for
something,
sure.
in fact, I used to use with Meenakshi Chaudhary, the girl who went for Miss Supranational and everything. And she didn't get any, fillers or anything done. And she was, wanting to have fuller lips. And this is something that I'd used with her and we kind of perfected. And you see how she looks. It looks stunning
Yeah.
on her.
It looks stunning. absolutely looks stunning. Also, Clint, Pragati is
Yeah.
asking how to make eyes look big. Oh, this one I want to know. Like, I am, as you said, some people are born like that. I'm born with like droopy eyes. So, what do we do?
Well,
People like
to
me.
be honest, one of the best things to do is to do a slightly smoky eye. It
Okay.
automatically opens the eye up. And to work with the crease line, that is this line.
Hmm. Okay. Right here.
Yeah, so this crease line. So if you kind of highlight, you kind of use a nice darker color along the crease line,
Mm-hmm.
provided your crease is not too deep and intense. If
Okay.
it is too deep and intense, then avoid it. But if you've
Hmm.
got a kind of regular crease line like how you have, or even some Oriental girls like, Pidin and all of these girls didn't have a crease line. And with Oriental eyes, it's kind of important to make it bigger. So
True.
you accentuate the crease line and you do a kind of a brown smokiness that goes like, kind of disperses out.
Okay. Sort of like building up to the and
Yeah,
merging.
so
Okay.
it kind of moves out and it moves out into the crease line. So that
Okay.
automatically kind of makes the eyes look bigger. And then to use a white pencil on the inner waterline of the eye.
Okay. So that will sort of give that appearance that you've got bigger eyes.
Absolutely. And then again, use lots of mascara.
Mascara.
That,
Great.
yeah,
So
like lots of mascara.
I think mascara is your favorite. It's mine also because I can totally skip kajal on days and just like do mascara,
No, but
some
to be
gloss, and
honest,
be
you
ready.
don't even need eyeshadow sometimes. You just do mascara and your
Yeah.
eyes look done up.
Yeah.
Like
So for all
mascara,
those people
compact,
who
and
are
lip gloss, and you're
asking,
done.
done. So it's like all the people who are asking claimed that what is it? That was that one go-to product you'd recommend, go-to thing. I think that should be a mascara. Mascara, some
I would say
compact, and I
mascara
think
and
gloss.
compact and gloss.
And gloss. Yeah,
Like,
I think Clint says
yeah,
suggesting
three
those.
things. Like, these are your basics, literally the basics, but that work for everything. And this is something you can actually put into your bag for your touch-ups and everything like that. And it's fine. It works well.
Clint, we've also got Savio here, and he's saying hi to you and me. I thought I should just
Hi,
convey
Savio.
that to you. Okay, Clint, getting back to the question, we've got Ruchi asking you how to make my nose look sharp.
Well, to be honest, contouring works. I saw another question also that is contouring necessary?
Yeah.
Contouring is necessary, I feel, to some extent. Like if you follow some of these YouTube videos where they over contour their face, you either look like a drag queen or you look like a puppet or you look something strange. So, contouring needs to be really, really done well. And you need to kind of master the art of contouring. And it's
Yeah.
not just applying the darker color, it's also blending it properly. That's
That's
very
true.
important.
That's
So
true.
if to make the nose thinner, I would say to kind of do like a couple of lines just here on the side and then
Okay.
blend it outward. But more
Okay.
in a straighter manner, like this. Not like that.
Okay, like that.
It has to be kind of more straighter. Yeah.
Okay.
So the bridge of your nose, and you follow the bridge of your nose right till the bottom. So that is what you keep light. You can even use like a bit of like tape, micropore tape or cello tape, just to kind of save the bridge of your nose. And then do that and then just blend it out, dab it with a little bit of powder, remove the tape, and your contouring is done. And then if you want to use a kind of a blending brush, you can use a blending brush just to kind of blend it all out properly.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a pretty cool hack. So, Clint, tell me something like, let's say the girls are with you now during the training and grooming session of the pageant. What an ideal session with you be like? Like, on what basis do you, prepare and sort of groom the girls for the pageant now? now
Well, to be
onwards?
honest, I kind of start with evaluating their kit because
Okay.
when, let's be honest, I mean, what they're going for is not something very simple. They're
Hmm.
going in a capacity where they're representing the country. So it's, I mean, they have a lot of weight on their shoulders, these
Yeah.
girls. You know,
Yeah.
so I evaluate their kit. I try to show them what all is necessary to have in their kit so they can
Mm-hmm.
survive any kind of, problem, issue, uh, event, anything. Like, so
Hmm.
they are actually in kind of battle mode and survival mode,
True.
because they constantly have to look their best, and God forbid one of them gets a zit, or you kind of get a mosquito bite. You need to know how to cover that up and handle it, or you might get an
Yeah.
allergy. You never know because you're in a strange place where you're
True.
doing strange things, I mean, eating strange food which you've never had. You can do anything can happen. So
True.
their kit is pretty comprehensive for that. So I kind of do that. Then what I do is I kind of do half the face.
Okay.
I do the makeup, and then I tell them to copy that
Oh, that's the
on
nice
the
way
other
to
side.
learn it on your face. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean that is how they have to learn, and that is what I do every session. So I do half the
Okay.
face, make them copy that, then I make them take off everything and redo the look that we were doing.
Oh, so that's like practicing
And
on your
then
own face.
absolutely, because that is what they need to do. Then I teach them how to change the look from day to night, or from that look
Okay.
into another look. So because over
Hmm.
there they're going to get like literally 30 minutes to go to their room, change their clothes, and come for something
Come
else.
back.
So they
Yeah,
should be able to kind of tweak the makeup to look like something else. So I try
that's
to teach
true.
them that way they can do it literally within like what 5-10 minutes. So it kind of
That's pretty
helps.
cool. Do you
Yeah.
remember some girls who you've trained and like you have the best fondest memories with them? Tell us some names through
I
the
would say with
years.
Manushi, like Manushi has been one of the most hardworking students I've had. Like we would do our class till like around 1 in the morning or 1:30
Wow,
in the morning. Yeah. And then
that's
even
crazy.
Meenakshi. Yeah.
Hmm,
So like
that's
Meenakshi
nice.
too was like super hardworking. I mean, she had absolutely nothing. She had absolutely no idea of makeup. Uh, and then she learned everything and picked it up. And it kind of feels good to be an educator to somebody like that who from zero is as good as you at the end of it. So
Wow, that's
yeah.
amazing. Clint Damini
Then
is
like with
asking us,
Shifali, we
is
used to like
setting
kind of
spray? Hmm.
sorry.
Sorry. You were saying we'll take the question right
No,
after.
no, I think like with Shifali, we used to kind of have a really good session because she had as much makeup as I had.
She's a makeup
And we used to
lover.
kind of really, she was a makeup lover, and we used to really have a lot of fun working together, and it was really, really nice. Really sweet girl.
That's so cool. So, Clint, as
Sorry,
I
you
was
were
saying,
asking.
yes, Damini is asking, is setting spray essential?
Yes, if you want this makeup to stay longer, setting spray is important because it kind of
Hmm.
keeps the makeup in place and it makes it last like around 4 or 5 hours easily. So you don't need to
Okay,
really work on it so much. And
true.
the somebody also asked Shrina, how long to make your how to make your makeup last long. Well, this is the same thing. I mean, you need to use a setting spray, and
Hmm.
it stays for a good 8-9 hours. I mean, like if you it depends on the quality of the setting spray that one is using.
True. That's also true. People are also asking us that please suggest a skincare routine to ensure there are no breakouts after taking off the makeup. This is Ritvika who's asking. Doesn't that
See,
depend,
after
Clint, from
taking,
like face to face?
well, I would say the basic thing to do is you remove your makeup
Mm-hmm.
uh, with a makeup wipe, whatever. Then I would suggest to use a kind of a toner
Okay.
to take off excessive whatever is there, like a toner kind of works well. Okay. And then I would suggest a face wash after
Okay.
removing everything.
Everything
Because a
also. So
face
you're
wash will
suggesting
actually
multiple
cleanse.
steps.
Yeah, a face wash will actually cleanse your skin. and then you get into your moisturizing routine.
Okay. Pragati is asking how to cover facial hair. Hmm.
That's a bit difficult. I mean, a lot of women used to use bleach. Like you get
Yeah.
those facial bleaches that kind of lighten the color of facial hair. So
Yeah.
it works in that sense. And this is something that I have faced as an issue, like working with a few actresses when we were doing skincare commercials. They had a lot of facial hair, and that cannot be hidden on camera.
Hmm. True.
It's very difficult to hide
Yeah.
it. I mean, you can use a lot of pancake and all of that, but then that just makes everything much more thicker. So
That's
that's a
true.
little bit of an issue. The only option I would say is to get laser done, kind of regularly. So kind of that helps. But
Hmm.
you have to also be careful because lasers can cause burns
Oh
and
yeah. There's so
marks.
many chosen. That's true.
So that's another issue.
Hmm. Clint, tell me something. Once the quarantine ends, okay, let's just imagine that we've sort of like ported to the time when it's already over and we're all out and about. What do you think could be the possible makeup trends? Like, do you foresee anything?
Well, I foresee a lot of what do you say? Natural looks. People are going to, what you say, also be experimenting right now in their homes. A lot of people who
Yeah.
are makeup junkies are going to be experimenting things in their homes. But the kind of looks, I mean, because I mean, recently what I've seen in Paris, in New York, everything is a little bit more natural and there are pops of color being used. So
Okay.
though, that is what is going to definitely come across. I mean, these pops of colors and things like that. And right now we are in a little bit of what do you say, like a time capsule as such, where nothing has really moved forward. So whatever
Yet.
is current is going to be back again 6 months or a year later. So like there is nothing that has actually like been, oh, like this is a new fad or anything like that. Nothing of that has happened right now. you
Mm,
know
yeah,
and what people are doing on themselves is just that, and nothing else.
that's true.
So these
Clint, do
pops of
you
colors,
have a yeah?
a little bit of fluorescent will work, all of that. Like, fluorescent eyeliner, those kind of things. Because people want to kind of feel a little bit kind of special when they go out.
Yeah, that's true. And makeup's the best thing to make us feel like that. True. So that's also like
Yeah.
always there. So, Clint, tell me something. Like, this is the time also, as you very rightly said, that people are experimenting with their looks and they are getting their, hands set and stuff like that. But what also happens is that, when you're sort of in that zone that you are getting ready for a pageant, you're preparing for a pageant. There might be certain do's and don'ts when it comes to makeup, right? Like maybe a X particular kind of lip color is not suited, or this kind of makeup is not suited. Could you just throw some light on that?
Well, I would say, like, for example, one of the things that is very important is to keep it natural. Okay.
Okay.
To keep whatever zone that you're doing is more in the natural beauty zone. Like you can
Okay.
do a little bit of sparkle on the eyes, a slight soft smoky eye, but not a dark smoky eye. That kind
Okay.
of work. Lots
Okay.
of mascara, using kind of more natural to kind of pinks and lip colors. Again, dark lip colors are not really appreciated as such, or kind of, because
Correct.
also they make the girls look much older than what they are. So, I mean, to
Yeah.
keep that whole makeup look a little bit fresh and kind of fun, youthful, and still glamorous at the same time, So, that is one of the things that to keep in mind, because this is what I know, like from the selection committees and from everything, and also how we train our girls when they go over there, is to avoid certain colors. So, like maroons, reds, very dark lips are
Yeah.
not really like a no-no zone, to keep it more
Correct.
into the fresh, happy kind of space.
Yeah. Vibrant and
That way.
glowing, stuff like that.
Yes, yes, exactly. To
So,
keep it more fun.
yeah. And they're saying how much makeup should we do for auditions so is that it doesn't look heavy? I think Clint already answered that, Saharan. He clearly said that keep it natural, keep it as minimalistic as possible. And yeah, I think that's the go-to when you're doing your makeup for an audition.
Absolutely.
Clint, also, why don't you share some of your secret stuff that you do for your skin? Like, you know, your preps. And that, I mean, what our girls should be doing right now in the house. Any tip, any
Like
DIY, anything else?
to be honest, I used to use a very expensive brand as a face wash, and then I suddenly discovered this not very expensive brand. Okay, for oil-free, I mean it's what do you say? It's sulfate-free and paraben-free,
Okay.
and it only costs
And it's budget
170.
friendly too.
It's
Wow.
150 rupees or something like that. So I mean that is
Okay.
something which I use, and it's excellent. And it's like a foaming face wash, so I use that. I mean, it's really budget friendly. So I mean, there are ways and means to work things around. Another thing I use is moisturizer for
Mm-hmm.
myself,
Okay.
and that really works. And sunscreen. Even though I'm sitting in the house, I will still put my sunscreen on.
Okay. So
Like,
that's
see, like
something
for
that you
example, like
follow.
I've got a lot of indirect sun coming in, so like I have a lot of brightness, and also sunscreen is just really good. It's like having like a plastic raincoat on your body, so it works
Yeah.
like that on your skin. So it prevents kind
True.
of dust, it prevents lots of things from affecting your skin. So sunscreen really works well.
And when
So
it
these are
comes
like
to, no, no, please finish.
I said these are the few things which I use personally that way.
Okay. And Clint, when it comes to like, you know, your photo shoot makeup and when you're facing the camera, how much is much and how little is little?
To be honest, it all depends on the girl's skin.
Okay.
You know, that's the most crucial way of working at it and looking at it is like if the skin needs more makeup, you do more makeup. But if the skin needs less makeup, you do less makeup. Second point being is one needs to also work with either the cinematographer or the photographer. The
Hmm.
cinematographer is the one who has the movie camera in his hand, and the photographer is the one who's actually got his little camera in the hand. So it depends on their lighting. Now, if
Okay.
the subject is overlit or there is a lot of light on the face, it's going to neutralize makeup colors, it's going to neutralize makeup. So you need to
Hmm.
add more to compensate that kind of bleach out effect. For
Okay.
example, like I saw something which you done with Alicia where she was too much in the sun. Okay. And sometimes that is what happens where it just bleaches out the face. It's literally like being right in the sun with the camera straight in your face. So everything just goes white out.
Correct.
So you
Yeah.
need to compensate for that and add more blush, maybe, or add more lip color, and maybe add more eye makeup. And when you see that, normally it looks very scary, like, oh my God, what is this? But it looks fine on camera. So you
Hmm.
need to like kind of decide on that. The lighting is very
Okay.
crucial.
Yeah. So I think you guys all work together as a team when it comes to doing a
Absolutely.
professional
It's not
makeup.
just an individual or anything like that. It's all team effort.
That's great. So, Clint, we'll just take two, three more questions because you've almost covered everything for us, and I don't think there's much remaining in this aspect. And I think it's a super masterclass also. And next time, Clint, we would love it if you can do like a tutorial for us also, wherein like we're aping you when you're doing your makeup,
Sure.
or
Once the quarantine is over, then we've got the girls to start working with, and then we can kind of do a tutorial then.
yeah, that would be amazing. I'm sure so many of you know the guys who've tuned in right now would love to watch that as well. So that would be pretty cool. So the last two questions, what I've done is I've kind of clubbed it because most of them have asked the same question. It's just in different formats. They're asking, what is it that you should use first, foundation or concealer?
To be honest, I mean, my personal recommendation is to use foundation first.
Okay,
This is again something which I have learned on my own and kind of
okay,
discovered because when you use concealer first, you're applying concealer and then you're applying foundation. So you might apply excess. When you
hmm,
apply foundation first, it kind of covers a lot of blemishes and a lot of flaws straight away. So the amount of concealer that you need to use after that is much
very
less.
little. Hmm.
So you need to just use concealer just in the little bit of spots wherever you need to conceal, and that's it. So I mean, then it's very logical to use your foundation first and then the concealer.
That's true. And if you have sensitive skin, would like applying too much makeup clog your pores? Is what someone's asking us,
Well, I would
Sheena.
say if you have sensitive skin, number one is to kind of, firstly, I mean, I would definitely recommend speaking to a dermat, you know,
Yeah.
because it's important because you don't want your skin to react every time you're applying makeup or anything like that. Because then your dermat will also give you specific moisturizers that you can use for your skin. You know,
Hmm.
like I can suggest
True.
something, but it might react to the person. You know,
Correct.
so I mean, you need to play safe in these kind of matters. So to use a good moisturizer, because a moisturizer and a primer acts as a kind of a barrier between the foundation and color makeup to your skin.
Okay.
So it
So
kind
that
of
kind of makes sense.
creates a
Hmm.
kind of a smooth surface and also protects your skin from
Okay.
like the harmful effects of makeup as such. I mean, but to be honest, today technology is such that most makeup is actually good. Like
Yeah, there are so many benefits.
I've had a
Hmm.
couple of actresses I've worked with for 4 days, and their skin has looked better after 4 days.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so I mean that's a good thing.
You must be finishing makeup in like what, like 30 minutes? Like a professional makeup because you're like so fast at it.
Yeah, approximately.
Yeah. Unlike us, like I'm struggling with my winged eyeliner. My one goes to the other side, the other goes to the other side. So I'm like, let me just avoid
No,
it
but a good
and
thing
only
to
stick to
do,
mascara.
a good thing to do is to use the tape effect.
Oh
Where you use that
yeah.
medical tape, you just use a little bit of tape on both the sides, so you get your lines properly.
Definitely. I'm gonna try this. And the minute I said, Clint, you should do a tutorial, everybody's like, yeah, yeah, please do it. We're very excited to watch the tutorial. So great. I think this is so cool, Clint. I'm so glad that you spare time and you did this session with us. I hope you enjoyed as well as we all enjoyed seeking in on soaking in your knowledge.
Sure, sure. It was really a lot of fun. There's something else, Isha. I mean, I'm going to put a kind of a question thing on my story. Okay, so if anybody has any further questions
Yes.
or anything like that, uh, just feel free to follow and ask anything because there are certain things I mean, we've not really discussed because of the time constraint and everything. Well, it's not really that long, but
Oh, you wanna share
you know,
some more? We'd be more than happy. Please go for
yeah,
it.
no, I don't mind because I've got some time.
Okay, so then let us see, guys. Clint is here for some more time with us. If there's anything else that you specifically want to ask, let's go for it. I think most of the questions that I'm getting is that it's regarding acne prone skin, regarding sensitive skin, what they can do.
See, regarding acne-prone skin, I would say again to be a little bit cautious as to now depending on the level of acne. Because now, if you've got acne that's going to burst at any moment, then it's a little bit scary. You know what I mean? I would say not
Yeah.
to apply too much of makeup, to apply
Hmm.
something like a calamine lotion or something like that, which kind of works well. And, and also when you're applying various kind of acne medication, it's very drying to the skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say if you've got acne prone skin or like acne, like actual acne on the skin, I would say just to use a kind of a compact, you know, and not to use too much of foundation or anything of that sort. And if you've got
Hmm.
skin that is prone to acne, I would suggest then using again a moisturizer, primer, and then your makeup. And then again
Okay.
rather use like a light foundation and a compact and not to use again too much, you know
Okay.
and
Okay.
like kind of
Yeah.
keep it like if you're doing something professional, so then leave it up to the professional to do their job and they'll do it properly.
Okay. They're asking, Clint, if you could suggest a nighttime skincare routine.
Well, a nighttime skincare routine, I mean, something which even I follow is like to use a slightly bit of a heavy moisturizer, uh,
Hmm.
an eye cream, and that's it, and go to sleep. And use a
Oh,
hand
that's
cream.
easy.
Yeah,
Yeah, this side, right? Hmm.
use a
Even neck,
hand
no,
cream.
Clint.
Yeah, your neck. People forget their neck, but I mean, face and neck is very important.
Okay. Oh, thank
And
you so
hand
much,
cream
guys,
and
for all
foot
the
cream
love.
is very important.
Okay. I think we've answered your question. Yes, now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Clint, Ritika is asking, should we do our eyes first or should we do our base first?
See, there are some people who kind of do their eyes first and then they do their base and all that thing. I mean, whatever works for you. What I kind of prefer to do is to do the base first and then the eye makeup. Because I'll be
Okay.
honest, also, I feel it's important to put a little bit of foundation on the eyes. Okay,
Okay.
use an eye prime, like an eye cream, eye primer. Okay, and a
Okay.
little bit of foundation because that helps the eyeshadows to kind of stick and adhere to the eyelids. Otherwise,
Okay.
the eyeshadows don't have so much of a color resolution. It kind of looks very faded
Okay.
out and washed out. I mean, this is something
Okay.
which even you can try. You'll notice that the foundation, if you put a little bit of foundation, use translucent powder on the top, dust it out properly, and then you use even the lightest eyeshadow, it will show up.
I'm going to try this for sure.
And it
For
will just stay
sure.
also for very long. It will not come out.
Nice. So, Surbhi is asking, makeup with SPF on my skin looks bad on camera. But what do you do when you're shooting in the sun? Please advise.
See, to be honest, your makeup already works as a sun protecting factor. Okay, it kind of forms a layer. And your powders, all of that also deflect sunlight. And I don't understand, maybe you need to change your brand of makeup with SPF because I mean, the ones which I've used have got SPF, some of them and all that thing. And it's never a problem. It kind of looks
Okay.
flawless. There's not an issue. You can use an actual sunscreen before you apply your makeup. So you use a
Okay.
moisturizer sunscreen primer. You go into that kind of a routine and then you use SPF free foundation and everything else and it should be fine.
Okay.
And
Nirmala
also
Reddy is
remember to use
asking,
not too
huh,
much.
not too
Sorry,
much.
not
Yeah.
to use not too much. Yeah.
Okay. Clint, Nirmala Reddy is asking, do you have remedy for dark lips?
Remedy for dark lips, I would suggest number one is to go to your dermat and find out what you can do. Okay. Because sometimes, like with one of the models I used to work with, her lips were kind of allergic to lipstick.
Oh,
So
that's
she would
tricky.
get this pigmentation. Yeah. So she would get this pigmentation on her lips because of using lipstick. So you need to get that thing sorted out. Another thing, I mean, to be honest, as I said earlier, is to use an absolutely natural long stay lip color, which goes from liquid to matte. Okay, a long stay lip color on your lips, and then follow it up with any lip color. It will work just fine.
Okay.
And it will also
Mansi is asking,
help the lipstick stay long.
stay longer. Okay. So,
Yeah.
Clint, Mansi is asking, for the auditions, should I opt for matte makeup or glossy dewy makeup?
For what purpose? For auditions?
Yeah, like supposing she's coming for the audition, should she do matte makeup or should she do a
I
glossy
would say
dewy
suggest to
makeup?
do matte makeup because see that is the safest. I mean you need to play it safe because with glossy makeup you don't know in what direction it will be. Now if you've got again too much of
Correct.
light, your face is going to look like it's sweating.
Yeah.
So matte makeup is like the safest bet. And let's be honest, everybody wants to bag the job or bag their placement. So why put
Correct.
yourself at a disadvantage? Always put yourself
Correct.
at an
That's true.
advantage. And matte makeup works really well. Like even for weddings and formal functions, I kind of tend to keep the makeup very matte and just
Okay.
use a very little bit of highlighter because with so much of strong lights, all of that, the face looks just too shiny.
That's true. Clint, Sana Dua has tuned in and she's sending you some love.
Oh, hi, Sana.
Okay, how
I
do
got
I
her
do
to
chart?
train for very short time, actually, which was really sad because she had to run very fast for her pageant.
So somebody's asking us now how to do a charmy eye makeup for daily purpose so that eyes don't look dull. Okay,
I
I
didn't
don't
get.
know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's talking about how do we do daily eye makeup? Probably. I think that's again what you suggested, right? So like using subtle
Yeah, so
colors
I
and
would
browns.
suggest you kind of use a light color, a kind of a natural color on the lids, to use a brown on the crease line, and
Okay.
to do a very thin eyeliner, like a almost invisible eyeliner, followed by mascara.
Okay.
So
Now
that
Nidhi
kind
is
of
asking
brightens
us.
the eye and makes it look nice.
Okay. Nidhi is asking Clint, do you have any tips for clear skin? I think I'm gonna try his
So,
coconut and almond
well, for
moisturizer.
clear skin, I mean, you are very lucky, firstly. Like, congratulations. It's a very good thing if you got clear skin. I mean, the world is your oyster, literally. So, and I would say, like, I mean, be very appreciative, thankful to God and the universe and your parents for your clear, good skin. Uh,
Yeah.
Keep it clean and clear all the time. Uh, Use lighter makeup. I mean, you don't need too much of makeup. I would definitely
True.
suggest using a compact, because what happens when you've got very clear skin, it can tend to look oily. And especially if you're in cities like Mumbai, uh, Chennai, Trivandrum, like coastal
Yeah.
cities, even Calcutta, which is very humid.
Yeah.
Uh, it tends to, like, even clear skin tends to look oily very fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
That's
would say
true.
keep a compact handy and keep your skin kind of matte. And
Okay.
also use the sunscreen to protect your skin from getting any kind of an issue or problem later.
Priya's asking Clint, how do I fight puffy eyes? Even I want to know this. And I think if you're during the pageant days, you do sort of tend to have a very hectic schedule, and puffy eyes can be one of the reasons, one of the things
So
that you
one
might
of the
want to sort of
things,
battle.
for puffy eyes, I mean, there's these grandmother tales of using tea bags on the eyes, cold tea bags. Another thing is to use crushed ice. That kind of takes away the puffiness. And
Okay.
another thing is to do this lymphatic drainage, because you kind of do this kind of a massage where you massage the moisturizer from, I'll show you,
Okay.
from the inner
Yeah.
part of your eye, you go outwards and towards this portion. So
Okay.
you do this gently and regularly, and then even on the top, you kind of lift your eyelid up and you do this with your moisturizer, and you do it for like around 5-10 minutes. It reduces the puffiness considerably.
Okay. That's something that I
And
want to try
you
now.
You should. And besides this, you also get from certain brands, you get a deep puffing cream, kind of that tightens the eye up, the eye area up
Okay.
immediately. So that works
Okay.
again.
Now somebody's asked us, Clint, I have clear skin, but I have dark upper lips. Any suggestions if you could help?
Well, the dark upper lid, I mean, this, or
Here,
is
I
it
think
the,
this area is what she means. Yeah. Upper lip area.
well, to be honest, this kind of darkness that happens around the mouth area, okay, happens for girls, especially during your period time of the month. And
Okay.
that tends to show during through makeup also, and this darkening kind of gets highlighted much more,
Okay.
especially
And any
during
reason
those four
why that
5 days.
happens? But why? Like that's kind of
obviously
odd.
obviously because your body is kind of draining out blood from your system, so
Okay.
that is why it happens. So one of the ways to combat it is to kind of use an extra amount of concealer around this area, moisturizer and concealer. So then that
Okay.
kind of combats that. But this grayness happens especially during those times. I mean, a lot of girls will have noticed that, that this portion tends to be a little bit gray. So I would say definitely speak to your gynac also about your hemoglobin levels. That's very important. And like some girls, probably they don't go to a gynac as yet or whatever. So speak to your family doctor about your hemoglobin levels and check that, because sometimes the hemoglobin levels go very low. And a lot of our girls in India tend to be anemic. So, I mean, there are a lot of health issues that also kind of reflect in makeup.
Okay. So I think it's all a blend. Priya is asking how to enhance the
Sorry, there
pinkish.
was
Oh
a
my
call
gosh.
that
Okay.
came in. I've
No
lost
worries, no
your
worries.
voice.
Can you hear me now? Now we were taking Priya's question, Clint. I'm just gonna go back up and check what she wanted to get answered. Yeah, she wanted to know how do you get the pinky rosy cheek effect with makeup?
Number one, what I tend to do is, like, after I do the foundation and all of that, like, I do the base first. I use a little bit of cream blush just over here on the cheekbone
Okay.
area. Okay, with my fingers, and blend it out with either a sponge or a brush. And then I kind of use translucent powder on the top. And then I kind of highlight it again with a very bright pink blush,
Okay.
like a fluorescent pink.
So
But
that
not
sort
too
of
much
gives
again,
you.
because otherwise you look like you're joining the circus. So you've got to
Yeah.
just put a hint of it. Yeah. And it works
Okay.
really well.
Then do you set that again with the powder, or you just let it be with the blush and the glossy thing there?
So no, I kind of, after the, what you say, the cream blush, I use translucent powder,
Okay.
and then I use a powder blush on the top. Just a hint of this fluorescent color.
Okay, now I understood. Because I was just like, okay, wait, then how's it gonna look? But now it's kind of placing up well. How to do makeup that doesn't mix or mess up with sweat? Swati is asking. I think setting
Yeah,
spray,
that's a
no?
very, no, the thing is that it also depends on what quality of makeup you're using. So when you use
Okay.
kind of waterproof makeup, it doesn't mess up with sweat. I mean, it kind of stays put, it doesn't move, it stays in place. And one should also keep a little bit of a puff with powder. So you just like kind of dab the sweat away, because I think a lot of girls face that problem. And there was another girl that asked, why does makeup, that Sagrika that asked, why does makeup become dark after 1 or 2 hours? Maybe that girl, I mean, Sagrika needs to change the brand of makeup that she's using, because
Mm,
a lot of brands tend to oxidize on the skin.
yes.
And this oxidization is what causes the makeup to start looking dark. There's nothing wrong with your skin, there's nothing wrong with the person, but it is probably the brand that is doing it.
I think that also
So I would
answers
say,
Surbhi's question because she's asking how to avoid makeup from oxidizing. It's preferably shift your brand.
yeah, shift your brand. And I would suggest that, like, go to a place like a Sephora. Okay. I mean, once this lockdown is over, and
Correct.
in a place like that, you have like around so many brands in one place. Okay. And remember that the consumer is king or queen in that kind of a setting, you know.
Hmm.
So whatever you want, don't feel shy to ask, or don't feel intimidated by the staff or anything like that. And if they try to intimidate you, just go up to the manager and complain that they're trying to intimidate you, and try on base over there. Come back home. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to purchase
Hmm.
anything. Come back home. If you have to go to a party, go to a party. See how the makeup wears for that evening, and then accordingly go and buy it. And whatever you
Okay.
try out, write it down in a little bit of a notebook that I tried out this foundation, I tried out this mascara, I tried out
Hmm.
this blush, and see how that works on you. Because you have testers to use for free. So why not take
Correct.
advantage of it? Or you can go
That's
into a
true.
mall which has several makeup stores, and try out, like, every Sunday do this. It's good fun. Like, you and your friends, the girlfriends can go and try out all these various brands and see what works best for them.
Yeah. That's actually cool also and a good fun building activity along
Yeah,
with knowing your skin
and
type better, the makeup that suits you better.
absolutely. I mean, one suggestion is also that each girl tries out a different brand, you know?
Yeah.
So you compare the brands that, okay, fine, then you all go for a movie, you go and have dinner, and then you see which looks better after all of it.
True. Ananya's
So it's a good
asking,
fun.
how do I avoid kajal from smudging? Uh,
Uh,
I mean,
Use a non-smudge kajal, to be honest. That's one of the things. Uh, it's one of the best things to do. Also, what you can do is when you apply a kajal, to apply a little bit of compact under the eye. That kind of keeps that area matte and prevents it from getting too oily.
sets it also.
Yes.
How to remove forehead hair during this pandemic time when we can't go out? Please help. Bhagyashri.
Forehead hair. I don't think you'll be able to do it without the help of
Professional help. Yeah.
like either wax or like a waxing kind of strip or something like that. I mean, on YouTube, you can get several ways how to make wax at home. But be careful that you don't rip out your hair,
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. So
I
one
think we
has to
should
be a
just
little bit careful.
wait. Yeah, let's wait for quarantine
Yeah.
to end, Ananya, and then maybe you can get back to it. Bhargavi is asking, is primer necessary? Clint said yes. Just depending on skin time. Pratibha is asking, ma'am, please take my question. Pratibha, please share your question again. We'll ask again.
And yeah, Hisha, a lot of girls are asking for some brand names. What do you say? Some kind of what they should use, whatever it is. I'm going to be putting up these questions, meaning like a question box on my story. And
Yes.
whoever wants any kind of a personalized thing, like somebody asked, Amber was asking, like, I make eye cream, an eye cream brand or whatever for women above 40. So, like, all these kind of questions can be answered over there.
Correct. So, guys, whatever other things that you want to ask, Clint would be more than happy to answer those questions one on one.
Absolutely.
So, y'all can go to his page and
I'll be
answer,
putting it up for
share
like
your
a
questions
couple
and
of
we'll answer.
days. Yeah.
Great.
I'll be putting it up for a couple of
Clint,
days,
one
so
more.
then you can ask whatever.
Clint, I also want to ask this question that Hetal's been posting. She wants to know, do you have any home remedy to like get bigger eyelashes? Okay, I would want to know.
Oh, yes. 1 second, sorry. Castor oil. Castor oil works like a miracle. Okay, but you have to be careful that castor oil is very thick. So I would say, like, if you have an old mascara tube, where the mascara is dried out completely and all that thing, put around 5 to 6 drops of castor oil in that and
Okay.
apply it onto your lashes.
Okay.
I would suggest to do that in the morning so that you apply this mascara. I mean, so it'll mix with the pigments and all of that, and there's lots of castor oil in that. And then when you clean your face at night and everything, so your face is clean
Goes
again,
away.
and you can go to bed. And
Yes.
castor oil really works.
So
Like
I'm
it's an
going to
old
try that.
grandmother's tale, and it works really well. It's even for like eyebrows that have got thinned out and everything. So castor oil works really well. So
This is the time,
keep your
guys,
old mascara wands.
to also use the castor oil on the eyebrows. Who wants that, bushy eyebrow look right now? I think this is the best time to even get that. Clint, they're
Yeah,
asking you to
it's an
share your
experiment.
Instagram ID. It's Clint Fernandez, everybody.
No, it's at Urban Chokra.
Okay, at Urban Chokra is his Instagram ID. Those of you asking Clint. Also, if you do type Clint, we do get to your official page. It's a verified account, so you guys would know once you sort of go on the search box and search for it. Yeah, I think Clint. I like this question. Should we apply lime juice, lemon juice directly on the skin?
To be honest, I don't really recommend it to be putting because it's very acidic, and if your skin is sensitive, it can cause like a skin burn. So be a little bit judicious as to how you're applying lemon juice. If you're applying lemon juice, I would say mix it with a little bit of aloe vera, mix it with a little bit of multani matti so that kind of cuts down the acid effect and keeps the vitamin C, and use
Okay.
it as a kind of a mask before you shower. So do it that way rather than applying straight away lemon juice, because it can be too acidic, and like I don't recommend it directly because a lot of girls have got sensitive skin. So don't really take a chance, because right now you will not be able to go to a dermat also, to show these kind of issues.
Okay. Uh, yes, Clint has shared his ID. He's glad everyone's thanking you for answering their questions. Thank you, guys. How to best use this time for nurturing the skin? Clint has shared many tips right now, and I think that initially in the start of the live, he spoke about almond oil and coconut oil DIY, and I will be saving this live so you all can watch that. What else? Oh, that's a nice question. Tanya is asking. Deciding the makeup products is still easier, but what about the makeup brushes? What kind of brushes one must have, and how to choose the right kind of makeup brush? Oh,
Yeah, this is actually very important. It's a little bit tricky because you get so many brushes in the market. I would suggest not to go in for something cheap, like on Amazon and things like that. And a lot of these websites, you get like brushes where you get like 15 brushes for 100 rupees or 200 rupees. I'm sorry, they are not going to be good. It might work once
yeah,
and that's it. They're not going to
yeah.
work again. But you get like from like reputed brands, you get brushes which are kind of comprehensively priced. So get it from a brand which is a little bit trustworthy, and from somebody, like if it is not a brand that is well known, but at least somebody else who's used it. Check reviews
Yeah.
of the brand. That's very important. One of the brushes that you need is like a blending brush, which is like that white and black kind of brush. So that kind of blends your makeup, and kind of it's very good for application of makeup. You'll need an eyeshadow brush. I would suggest to
Okay.
keep an eyeshadow brush for light colors, to keep an eyeshadow brush for dark colors, and keep these two
Okay.
separate.
Okay.
That's important. And
Okay.
then to use, what do you say, a crease brush, which is more like a rounded tip brush. So a crease brush works really, really well. That is what you need. Then I would say an eyeliner brush, which you can use for liquid eyeliners, which you can use for powder eyeliners. Then to use a lip brush.
Okay.
Then besides a lip brush, you need a contouring brush for your bronzing and contouring and all of that. A blush brush, I don't know if I mentioned it before, and a highlighter brush.
Okay. Couple of few essentials that one must have.
Yeah. Like I think around 6 to 7 brushes is what is required, but that should be enough. I mean, then it's just a matter of what do you say, indulgence. Because, for example, like I have like around 200 plus brushes.
Wow. I'm sure you must be having
Yeah.
a lot of other things also, which could be 100, 200 plus. I think we'll do Clint,
Yeah.
why don't you do
So
a what's in
I have
my
2
makeup bag?
refrigerators full of makeup. I have 2
Wow.
refrigerators full of makeup.
Oh
So,
my
like, I keep
God.
what I don't use in the refrigerator.
Clint, even Peden's here and she's left a message for you. She's saying Clint is really well read in makeup. I must say he is the best.
Oh, thank you, Peter.
That's so sweet, Peden. uh, what else? I have dark skin and I have tried nude lipstick, but it looks yes.
So I would say, like, I mean, for dark skin, one should use the color which is exactly matching to your skin tone. That is
Okay.
for most skin tones. Like, I mean, keep it like to this color. Don't go much lighter than that. Because if you go very light with your natural lip color, then it'll look like a discoloration, like you've got like some kind of a skin issue.
Okay.
So it should be exactly that. It can be a little bit darker, a little bit, but not really too dark. I mean, you see this with a lot of like African American women, like, I mean, say for example, like a Nicki Minaj or like a Beyonce. They don't go very light in terms of their natural lip colors.
Yeah.
It's either their skin color or it is like 19-20 as such. Like you go into a terracotta zone or you go into kind of a peachy zone, but it is always within the skin tone of this, I mean, in the zone of the skin color.
Okay. What else do we have? Wow, there's so many questions pouring in. My eyes are like glued to the screen, Clint. I'm just trying to scroll and see. Thank you so much. What else? What else? What is it that we've not covered yet? Okay. I have oily skin, and when I put makeup, it just becomes cakey and super oily. What do I do for this, Clint?
Well, makeup does tend to get cakey and super oily if you're applying too much and if you're applying the wrong kind of product. So it's very important that you apply something which kind of suits your skin tone, which is oily and everything, and you apply less of it. So again, I would suggest to go like to a Sephora or to go like to some makeup counters and kind of test the makeup over there. Again, use a primer before. That moisturizer primer is a kind of a staple, so use that before and just apply a little bit, and using a liquid foundation kind of works much better than to applying like a kind of a heavier foundation. So apply a lighter liquid foundation and just use a translucent powder after that, and you see how it works. And if your skin tends to get oily too much, then I would suggest that you use a kind of a tea tree paper. These little blotting papers that you get,
Yeah.
which you can use on your skin before and after makeup also. So those
Okay.
work also.
Clint, would you have any tips for all the guys who've tuned in to watch? What should they do when it comes to makeup? Because I can see some
Well, I would
questions
say
regarding
again,
that.
it's very simple because to be honest, like, I mean, when I do like TV interviews or certain kind of appearances with people like on television or in the press and things like that. So my basic is moisturizer. I don't really use a primer, to be honest, but I use a compact.
Okay.
And the compact kind of keeps the skin matte, so it doesn't get too shiny. So this matte
Okay.
effect as such kind of works universally for everybody. And if you've got like marks and things like that, then you can use a little bit of a concealer just where the marks are and then use the compact on the top of it.
Okay. Someone's asking us how to choose the correct foundation for your skin tone. Good question. Because I am
The
always
exact foundation.
confused, Clint.
Well, I mean, my basic thing is, I mean, it's a very Indian perspective of finding the exact color foundation, is to take a little bit of the foundation, put it on the top of your forehead like a bindi.
Okay.
Okay? It should be invisible.
The bindi.
If it is
That would
visible,
mean the foundation. Oh.
yeah. If it is visible, then it is not your color. It should be invisible. Then it is exactly your color.
Damn. That's such a cool way to do it. I'm never going to forget your bindi hack, Clint. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's like just put it here and then we can get to know whether it's ours or not.
Yeah, and if
Somebody's
you need to
asking
blend
us.
it out a little bit, you blend it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
To get an
sometimes some
understanding.
foundations need a little bit of blending, so you just blend it out, and it should be an invisible bindi. So it is the invisible third eye as such.
That's the intuitive eye to guess which foundation is going to work best for your skin
Yes.
tone. Clint, this is so cool. Somebody's asking us, is professional training required or not for pageants when it comes to makeup? You guys, you have Clint. If you're selected, he'll give you all the professional training that's needed.
Well, you do need some kind of professional training, to be honest. I mean, it's a little bit of a My Fair Lady situation also. I mean, with pageants, because you're grooming the girl to be the best she can be. I mean, she is there and she's won because already she's very good, but you want her to be like Superwoman good,
Yeah,
So
a better
there are
version
like
of herself.
yeah, the best version of herself, not just a better version, the best version of
The
herself.
best.
So I mean, besides just makeup, you have other kind of people working with speech, with ramp walk, with nutrition, with everything. because literally this girl is going to be on her own, kind of, what do you say, fighting for a place to be number one amongst so many girls from around the world. You know, so I mean, you do need that kind of help, and I think why not? You know,
Yeah.
it's good.
Always good to up your skill and to get some knowledge, because as you very rightly said,
Absolutely.
she's going to be on her own, and at that given point of time you need to sort of do everything on your own, not just makeup. I feel it's a whole package that you're
Everything,
working on.
everything.
Yeah,
There are
that's
certain
cool.
googlies thrown at you over there, like, you know, where you really need to kind of up your game. Like, I mean, the confidence level needs to be there. I mean, obviously, if she's won from here, she will win over there, but it's to be like the best that she can ever be.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, guys, all the other personal questions, Clint said that he's going to be answering it on his page. You all can check that out. How to do glass skin makeup. All the trends are coming out now.
Well, glass skin makeup, I would say, like, what do you say? Firstly, don't do it. It's a little bit, it's only meant for editorial work and for photography. Okay. And a lot of what you see is very retouched. Okay. With filters, with beauty plus, and with all of those things. And it's not a very practical kind of look because, for example, you go out on our streets and there's so much of dust and pollution, your glass skin makeup is going to look like sandpaper makeup in like half an hour. You know, so
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be in like a metal box, literally, like, you know, like what do you say, coronavirus kind of covering you
Situation.
completely, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think
And
that's why you said that.
there are lots of tutorials on YouTube how to do it. I mean, because it's very oily and there's a lot of highlighter and there's a lot of moisturizers being used.
Yeah, I think matte is the best way to go, especially if we're all from India. A country like us, the humidity is super high.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
like you
I
go on a
think,
dirty. I mean, you go on a road in in Jaipur or in Rajasthan. There's so much of dust and wind that
yeah,
comes in a place like that, like in a desert area, like or even in
true.
Ahmedabad and things like that. So I mean, your skin is bombarded constantly, you know,
Yeah.
with things. So you need to kind of be more protective.
Clint, I have a personal question which I'm very tempted to ask you, and I'm going to ask you. So,
Sure.
when I'm wearing makeup and then when I'm stepping out in the sun, and if I'm wearing my sunglasses, you tend to get the sunglass marks over here, like
Yeah.
right here when you're wearing your glasses, or you tend to get. So basically, whether it's sunglasses or any glasses, for somebody who wears glasses and they like to do makeup, is there any way that you can sort of take care of the mark that comes here? Maybe there's no way to prevent it, I don't know, but once it's already come, how do I get rid of it because it looks ugly?
No, to be honest, you'll have to give it a little bit of time because, like, wearing glasses for a long time, even I get this kind of a issue. Like, I can't wear it for a long time because my skin is super sensitive and it used to cause a cut, like a kind of a bleeding cut,
Oh,
you
okay.
know, for me. So that's something that happens. One way to do it is, like, it can look a little bit ridiculous, is to fold tissue paper and put it underneath the pants. Yeah, but that is the only way that you can avoid it, is to fold tissue paper and just put it over here.
Okay. Or maybe like keep removing it in the middle and like just dab it and then put it back. I don't know. I keep
Yeah,
doing
but
that.
then, I mean, yeah,
Tedious.
it's very difficult. And also, I mean, if you have super light sunglasses, that's the best.
Yeah, then you won't have that issue only at all. If I'm wearing those like big chunky ones, then of course
Absolutely.
it leaves like a mark. Great. So can you please sum up? Okay, this we've already answered. What if we have marks on our legs? I think we've answered most of the questions, Clint. And you've been very
Yeah,
patient and very informative session too, Clint. Is there
you're
anything else,
welcome.
any message that you have for the budding Miss India, something that you'd like to throw at them?
Well, I would say, like, I mean, besides your beauty regimes, I would say up your skills in more of a 360-degree manner, you know, like take care of everything, like, read up a lot. Uh, Also, like, I mean, the millennial thing is very entitled as such. They have this very entitled kind of feeling. Don't think that everything comes to you without any hard work. Like the girls who have won have worked like crazy. That is why they are where they are. And I'm
Yeah.
not just talking about the girls who have won over here, but the girls who have won internationally. Like recently, even Suman Rao.
Yeah.
Super, super, super hardworking. You know, Manushi, for
Yeah.
example, Minakshi, Sana, all of them, like super hardworking. I mean, you don't get to that level without working hard. Like even for
Yeah.
example, like our previous Miss Indias, like for example, Aishwarya, Priyanka Chopra, or whoever else we have, Lara, all of these girls, they've been super hardworking. That is why they've got the sense of entitlement will not get you anywhere.
Yeah.
It might only get you up to a point, you know, like you have to really work hard. And I think a lot of humility is also very important to have that kind of humbleness and the desire to learn. And the desire also comes from an understanding that there are people that who know better than you,
Yeah.
so
True.
have that
Yeah.
sense of humility to learn and absorb these kind of things, because that is the only way that, I mean, all of us, including me, have gotten to a point is because of this humility, because of working hard. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah. Great, Clint. Thank you so, so much once again. This
You're
was
welcome.
amazing. And hopefully, we will get to see a tutorial and shoot a tutorial with you
For
really,
sure.
really soon.
For sure.
And thank you, everybody who tuned in. Please reach out to Clint at Urban Chokra if you have any other questions, and he'd be more than happy to answer it for you all. And lots of love. Stay safe. Bye, guys. Bye, Clint.
Bye.